we're supposed to be having a fiesta!
Uno, dos, cuatro, hit it!
Cause you know it's a new year, it's a brand new beginning at the 365 and the world keeps spinning. It's a new year, it's a time of celebration. The fun has just begun, now it's gonna be a happy new year.
Happy New Year!
Hello everybody, Movie Fan 2002 here, and Happy New Year! Yes, we have now entered into 2026, and I am looking forward to this year. I mean, don't get me wrong, some good stuff definitely did happen this year, but last year was kind of mellow. It was a good mellow, don't get me wrong, but like there wasn't like that many stuff that stood out to me other than like graduating college, my parents' 25th anniversary, the career readiness training program to get me ready for a new job, and also like plenty of interviews I've been doing for jobs as of late. But like other than that, it was mostly kind of a mellow year. This year is going to be a lot more eventful, at least on my personal end. So there is a lot to look forward to this year. I mean, like there are a couple of trips coming up that I do have planned, especially one in a couple of weeks, which I'll tell you more about that when we get closer to it. And also some big anniversaries coming up in my family. And of course, you saw the title of this video, some new movies to look forward to. And I can guarantee you that there are some highly anticipated films that we are just so eagerly awaiting for this year. And whether they're going to be on the big screen or small screen, I am just so freaking excited to check. And that's what this video is here. Just to count down my picks of the top 10 most anticipated movies of 2026. These are the films that I cannot freaking wait to check out this year, and hopefully will become some of my new favorites. And once we reach the year's end, we'll see where they end up. And of course, when I inevitably review them. Also, these are the ones that I'm personally looking forward to. And if there's a film that you're looking forward to isn't on this list, that's okay. I mean, maybe it's because like I haven't heard about it yet, or I just forgot to include it. Okay. Enough about that. No more rambling. Well, at least without talking about the films themselves. Let's get into the actual list. Oh, no, wait. Before we do so, I have to give out my honorable mentions, as these are the movies that didn't make the list, but are ones I'm still excited for. And my honorable mentions are The Hunger Games, Sun Rising on the Reaping, Goat, Masters of the Universe, Hoppers, Hexed, Clayface, Coyote vs. Acme, finally, and last but certainly not least, Wildwood. Like I said, some of these films were close, and I mean very close to making it to this top 10 list. But they didn't end up making it anyway, even though there were a couple that I am a bit disappointed that didn't unfortunately make the cut, especially Coyote vs. Acme. I know, but I'm still looking forward to that movie regardless. Let's get into the actual list itself. No, it's my girl. It's my girl's film. Yeah, I just had to start off with a bit of a Michael Jackson-esque vibe there of one of his songs. But yes, Michael Jackson's having his own biopic this April. Sorry, entering the new year, I always get a bit discombobulated with this. Michael is shaping up to be a pretty unique biopic, as it is directed by one of the guys who did Bohemian Rhapsody. Well, actually produced by him. What it looks like it's going to be a really intriguing feature. I mean, like the directorial styles looks great. The actor who's playing Michael Jackson's like it'll be a good fit for the role, and from that teaser, it looks like this is going to be a pretty engaging biopic, and hopefully, and one that I'm really looking forward to checking out. I mean, like as a fan of Michael Jackson myself, of course I'm down to check this movie out. I mean, I don't really have that much to add because obviously, like these biopics are not obviously 100% accurate to like what happens in real life because some things are fictional. But even so, I'm definitely intrigued to see what this biopic has in store with Michael Jackson. And after all, it looks like it's shaping to be a really fun feature and pretty cool one to check out this spring. Speaking of which, when does the movie come out again? Yeah, Grandma? I just got confirmation that the Michael Jackson movie is coming out on the same day as yours and Grandpa's anniversary. I'm not joking. Now we have Supergirl. And I can also hear the people going in the comments, like trying to type down this video of me saying, "Oh, you put Supergirl on this list instead of Coyote versus Acme. Oh, you put the female friendly movie on there." Because yes, I am aware of some of the backlash the movie received of this being a bit of a girl power-esque feature. And yes, I can understand that some people were a bit underwhelmed by the trailer. I can understand that. But just for me, while I will admit that the trailer wasn't as well awesome as, say, the first trailer for James Gunn's Superman, it doesn't change the fact that I'm so excited for this. First of all, it is nice that like James Gunn won't be directing every single film in this universe. So it goes to show that like that he still wants to be this thing to let other directors have their own creative freedom. And it still looks like a fun trailer. I mean, the actress who still played Kara looks great. I love the director they're chanting it. It's a lot more, well, going to be more rebellious in comparison to Superman. I mean, Krypto's back, which is always a plus. I mean, I loved him in Superman. And it does look like it's going to be a really fun time at the movies. And I'm glad it's coming out in June because, well, let's just say that July is going to have some intense competition. And let's just say that a couple of those films from that month will be on, especially another comic book related movie, which we'll get to later on. But either way, it still looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, Jason Momoa is in this movie as well, and that looks very much interesting. So I'm interested to see how this goes. Also, I can't believe this I didn't know this until like someone did a little post on Blue Sky, but apparently Kara does share a bit of similarities to Sasha Waybright from Amphibia, especially in terms of rebellious attitude and how like the trailers like depicting it. Almost like if Amphibia had her as the main character instead of Anne. Wow, now that's two modern Superman related projects in a row where we have where like the character reminds me a bit of Sasha in some areas. But either way, Supergirl looks like a lot of fun. Can't wait to see it. Oh, and I'm sorry if I didn't do a trailer reaction when it first came out. I was a little bit under the weather during Well, after a long time of waiting, it looks like Star Wars is finally coming back on the big screen. And it's with the characters of pretty much of the show, of the main reason of why I have Disney Plus in the first place. Yeah, let's be honest with us. The Mandalorian was probably the main reason we all got Disney Plus at first. Going back to the movie itself, yes, I will admit I am looking forward to The Mandalorian and Grogu. It does seem like it's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, I know I was not so, well, pleased by the third season of the series, because I thought the first two seasons were downright phenomenal. But even so, that doesn't change the fact that I do want to check this movie out, and it will be refreshing to see a new Star Wars film on the big screen again. And in fact, this will be the first time since Solo: A Star Wars Story that we had a Star Wars movie on the big screen being released during the summer. And it's just a perfect time, and on Memorial Day weekend too. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this turns out. Obviously, I don't know much about what this movie would be about. Mostly give like some sort of bounty hunting feature. Sure, it's maybe not my most anticipated Star Wars related project of the year. That obviously goes to the Darth Maul series. But even so, that it doesn't change the fact that I'm really looking forward to this film. And I do hope this movie sort of reaches the same level of awesomeness as the first two seasons, in my opinion. Which I may rewatch before for the movie, but even if I do, it'll probably just be the first two seasons, because like I said, those are pretty much like the best that the series has offered. But we'll see depending on like where things go this year. But either way, I'm still looking forward to check this movie out. And regardless of how we may feel the feature, one thing is for certain, this movie is the one. Now we have Project Hail Mary. Now, for those who may be wondering, why is this film on the list? Well, it's because it's based off a recent sci-fi book that was written by the same author that did The Martian, which that turned out to be a really great movie directed by Ridley Scott. So I have faith that this film would be a great adaptation. But most importantly, it's the directors who are involved with this movie. This movie is being directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Yes, the same guys who are responsible as the creative heads of the Spider-Verse movies. So them directing this film seems pretty good, and something to have like as a breather in between Across and Beyond the Spider-Verse. More on that on the anticipated of 2027 list. But back onto this film, it's kind of interesting that they're doing this because, believe it or not, they were originally going to be the directors of Solo: A Star Story, but got kicked out of the project. Gee, I wonder why. So, but with this movie, they're going to be the directors. And from what it seems like, it looks like it's going to be a really intriguing movie. I like direction that it's heading. Like, Ryan Gosling seems like a lot of fun. And like I said, it looks like it's going to be like a really cool and a very unique sci-fi feature. And again, it's coming from Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Because regardless of on how I may feel about them, like, in terms of how like they handle a film's production, there's no denying that their movies turn out amazing. Their quality is on a high level. Obviously, with that alone, this is definitely one of the most anticipated of the year. For those who are wondering why it's not ranked any higher, well, it's not because of my lack of faith in the movie itself. It's in fact far from it. Actually, it's just the fact that, well, there are just some other films that I'm just excited for even more. So that's the reason why. But either way, I'm looking forward to seeing what this movie has in store, and it's definitely going to be a sci-fi adventure that I'll hopefully never.
Now!
Woohoo! It's the Super Mario Galaxy movie at number 6. As you probably remember when I did my trailer reaction, I am just really excited for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. This is like one of my most anticipated. Not only because, well, I love the first Super Mario Brothers movie, which coincidentally I put that film on my most anticipated movies of 2023 list, and that turned out to be a freaking awesome movie. And I have no doubt the same thing's gonna happen with this movie as well. I'm just freaking excited for it. And who knows, maybe it'll go for like a similar treatment like what happened with the first film and it gets pushed up 2 days later. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised given the amount of hype for this film. Not only because, well, it's a follow-up to the 2023 movie, but it's also, well, pretty much going to be like mostly an adaptation of Super Mario Galaxy, which I played the game. I still have yet to play Galaxy 2, although I might start soon. I'm actually been thinking about getting started on that. But yes, I'm really looking forward to that. But it's going to be mostly an adaptation of Mario Galaxy, while also throwing some elements from like Odyssey, Wonder, and some other stuff. Casting's going to be all around great. I mean, that trailer that we got was freaking awesome. And yes, I don't mind Brie Larson being Rosalina. I mean, from what I heard in the trailer, she doesn't sound as much. She kind of sounds completely different from how she usually sounds, and almost sounds exactly like Peach, in my opinion. But more on that for like a different day. I'll talk more about that like as we get closer to the film itself, or like in the actual review of the movie when it comes out in April. But either way, I am just freaking excited to check this movie out, and I have no doubt it's gonna be a freaking awesome film. I'm not expecting like anything to like be like a deep lore quality story or anything. But what I am hoping for is just for like a really fun, awesome time at the movies. And I have no doubt this film is going to deliver. Because, yeah, this is definitely an Illumination sequel that I definitely want. So at least Illumination is definitely going to be trying with this.
Yet save it only for us.
And now here we are in the top 5 with Disclosure Day. Now I know what you're all about to say. Wait, what is this movie about? Well, it's not just really what the movie is about, but more specifically of who is involved with it. More specifically, the director. 2 simple words. Steven Spielberg. Yep, this is Steven Spielberg's latest UFO movie that he's been working on for years. And I know some of you guys may be scratching your heads going, wait a minute, why is Spielberg making another Alien movie? Didn't he already give us those type of films like with Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and War of the Worlds? The one back in 2005, not the most recent one we got. Well, yes, but here's the thing. This is a more like horror psychological one. Those ones were more fantastical. Well, the first two were. I mean, War of Worlds was much more intense. This movie's gonna be more intense, like shattering like of aliens and like these psychological beings. Obviously, you don't know much about it, but like what this is shaping up to be another excellent feature from Steven Spielberg, or at least I think it will be. We'll see how it turns out. I know some people might feel a bit turned off that like Spielberg's making another film because maybe people thought that The Fabelmans would be his swan song. But you know what? I'm personally okay with him making another movie. And to be fair, the guy's still talented, so he can still keep going. I mean, if Hayao Miyazaki can make a comeback with The Boy and the Heron, then who's to say Spielberg can't? Plus, Spielberg never said that like that movie was going to be his last film. So like, if he wants to make another movie, then I appreciate that he's doing it. And I can't really say too much about it because obviously like better to like see like what it's presenting rather than like I explain, because like it's much more easier that way. But either way, I'm really looking forward to checking out this feature. And you know what? I'm going to say it now. In lead up to the movie, I'm going to watch all of Spielberg's films in preparation for it. I mean, I've seen some of his movies, but I think it's high time I finally go through his entire filmography, or at least of the movies he directed in anticipation. I feel like it's high time I give my all-time favorite film director the respect he deserves. Long live the fighters with Dune Part 3. Yes, we have the long-awaited third installment. It's finally on our way with this year with Dune Part 3. I cannot freaking wait to see this feature. I mean, obviously, the first two films were downright incredible, so of course, Part 3 is shaping up to be like the grand end of the story. Now, with that being said, there is one thing I should address first before continuing. Is that there is a good chance this movie could be delayed. Without giving it away to like another film that's about to appear on this list, this movie is going to be coming out on the same day as one of those movies that I'll be talking about in just a little bit. And if you know which movie I'm referring to, then you'll know that like releasing Dune Part 3 on this day isn't like a good idea, Denis Villeneuve. I'm pretty sorry, but this movie has to be pushed back to like to pretty much a March release. Like next March, like 2027 won't be that competitive, so release it then. It'll be a lot more easier, at least in my opinion. But oh well, what you gonna do? But enough about like its release date. Back onto the movie itself. I just cannot wait to see what this film has in store. Like Denis Villeneuve obviously been so passionate about these movies for quite a long time now, and these needs to be seen on the big screen. So I have no doubt that this will be a really epic and phenomenal conclusion to this story, and I cannot wait to see how it all wraps up. Denis Villeneuve, you've done such a great job so far. Can't wait to see what the third part has in store and bring this story of Paul Atreides to an epic and awesome conclusion. Whether if it comes out this year or next year, one thing's for certain, I will be there day one. And I will be ready to serve in the fight. Yep, my most anticipated film of this year is The Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender. Now, yes, I did recently talk about my grievance of the film going straight to Paramount Plus. In fact, like it was so bad that like the petition's been going on as of late of people trying to beg the movie to be saved in theaters, which hopefully that petition does succeed because the last thing I want is for Paramount to like kill off the Avatar franchise on a pretty much of a dead streaming service, even though we now sort of have the streaming service, but we'll see where it goes. But regardless of where the movie is going to be released, it doesn't change the fact that I'm still freaking excited for it. Like I said, it's going to be downright exciting to finally see not only an adult Aang on the animation, well, if you don't count the scenes in The Legend of Korra, but also because we're going to see Aang, Katara, Sokka, Toph, and Zuko back together again on a new adventure. Yes, I know about the whole like questionable decision of having like different voice actors playing the characters instead, but I want to give it a chance. And either way, it'll still be awesome to see these characters again, just him going off on a new adventure, what life has been like in between those years, and like how it all ties in between the events about both Avatar: The Last Airbender, the comics, well, and of course, setting up for The Legend of Korra. And yes, I will be revisiting the original series and most likely The Legend of Korra before the movie comes out. I mean, I feel like it has to by law, but at this point, we all know it's going to. Can't wait to see it. I mean, it's going to be traditionally animated. Looking forward to like many cool bending action sequences where our characters ended up. Hopefully, Uncle Iroh's in this because, well, I want to see more of the boss. I mean, he's the freaking boss. And also, I'm intrigued of our new villain, but played by Dave Bautista, or voiced by him anyways. But yeah, overall, I am really looking forward to this movie. And one thing for certain, regardless of how the movie turned out, I think we can all agree on one thing. It is certainly going to be better than the Netflix version of Season 2. That is for damn certain.
We ready?
For my runner-up, I have Spider-Man Brand New Day. Yeah, as you can tell, I am really looking forward to this movie for a few reasons. One, it will be the first time in nearly 5 years since we last saw Tom Holland's Spider-Man in general, because the last time we saw him was obviously, well, the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home. And two, considering now like the MCU is now like focusing on quality again and connecting the universe again, it will be downright awesome to have a new Spider-Man adventure on the big screen again. And at least one before, well, Beyond the Spider-Verse next year. But back onto this film. And it'll be great just to see like Tom Holland now in a more street-level oriented feature where his identity as Peter Parker has been erased. We can now focus on more important stuff, like helping out the citizens on the street and fighting off numerous criminals. And also, I heard that the Punisher is going to be in this movie, which is also awesome. And even Savage Hulk is coming back. And that's even more awesome. And it's going to be like a pretty much dark story. Like, they're going to take things in really bold directions. Like, oh my god. Like, this is pretty much like the right next step to take for Spider-Man. Kind of like back to like the Raimi trilogy. Like, back to like when like it was a bit more street level-esque. But either way, I am just so freaking excited for this film. I hope we get a trailer sometime soon. Hopefully, like, before the Super Bowl. Like, I'm just so freaking excited for this movie. Can't wait to see it on July 31st. It's going to be such an amazing movie and pretty much, like, one of the most anticipated films of both the summer and this year. I'll talk more about it when I get to it, but I just can't wait. I just can't freaking wait for this movie. I know it's going to be a heck of an amazing film. Hopefully it's going to be another awesome post-Endgame movie, MCU movie, and if done well, then it'll pretty much be the strong indicator that, yes, the MCU has gone back on its feet before it gets soft rebooted by Secret Wars, but we'll see how it goes. And this would have been number one, but there was only one movie that topped it. And my number one most anticipated movie of 2025 is... a tie between both The Odyssey and Avengers Doomsday. Yep, I am putting a tie between these two films on the list. But why would I put these two as a tie for number one? What is it about them that have me both excited? What do they have in common? Well, quite a lot. Aside from being highly anticipated by not just myself, but also many other people, like, they're both like the next installment of of a popular franchise or directorial filmography. The marketing has gotten people very excited, and most importantly, they are shaping up to be big cinematic movie events to see on the biggest screen possible. But maybe it's better if I go a bit more individually into each feature, just to so I can set it out. For The Odyssey, I'm excited for that movie because, well, not only because it's Christopher Nolan's next film after Oppenheimer, but that's also the point. It is his follow-up to his Best Picture-winning movie that also got him an Oscar for Best Director. So yeah, it's a huge freaking deal at this point. And after seeing that first look at the movie, yeah, there is no... I cannot be excited for this because this is gonna be epic. And I mean freaking epic. In fact, you know that this movie's getting a lot of hype from people when 70mm IMAX screenings of the movies and some theaters were released to the public literally a year before it's released. No, seriously, that literally happened back on July 17th of last year. Literally just 365 days before its official release on July 17th this year. That's freaking incredible. I cannot argue with that statement. I just can't wait to see how that turns out. Nolan, the writings are on the wall with you, and considering like how it turns out, it looks like you're about to probably even outdo yourself what you did with the last feature. And that's incredible. So, and hopefully if it goes well, then let's say next award season, you're about to probably have a repeat, buddy. And I mean that in a good way. Oh, and also Nolan, like your buddy Spielberg, let's just say I'll also be revisiting your filmography before I witness your most epic adventure yet. And now, as for Avengers Doomsday, let me just start off by saying that I apologize I didn't do trailer reactions for both the Captain America teaser or the Thor teaser because, well, obviously they were sort of leaked to the public, and of course, obviously, they were shown in front of Avatar Fire and Ash, so there was also that. But I do have a little video talking about like each of those 4 teasers pretty soon, and I will do a trailer reactions for like the official trailers like when it comes out on YouTube. Which, of course, is planned to be during the Super Bowl. But the teasers that we got so far and of what this movie's setting up is going to be incredible. I know, there are some people who feel a bit iffy about RDJ technically coming back to the MCU, but now as Victor Von Doom. But honestly, the more I thought about it, and when I was doing my Infinity Saga rewatch during the summer-ish, I sort of get why they're doing so. Robert Downey Jr. can be serious when he's not acting egotistical. So he does have more of a villainous role in him. So, and they have been playing this for a while. So I guess it does make sense. So while I was iffy about it at first, I've grown more accustomed to it as time moved on. Besides, we probably should at least give it a chance, right? But what I'm also excited about, and why I'm really looking forward to this movie, is that this movie is going to be huge. On top of bringing back Joe and Anthony Russo to be the directors of both this movie and Secret Wars, this movie is going to have a huge lineup of characters. And I'm not just talking about Sam's new team of Avengers, but also there's going to be a few members from Wakanda, like there was in Infinity War, the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men. And not just any group of X-Men, I mean the original X-Men that first appeared in the original Fox movie from 2000. So pretty much, they're bringing bits of the beginning into pretty much what's meant to be like the beginning of the end of the original Marvel Cinematic Universe before it goes into a bit of a reboot button afterwards. Well, soft reboot, but you know what I mean. And I'm so excited for this. With all these combining moments together, this makes both the Odyssey and Avengers Doomsday my #1 most anticipated films of 2026. There's a lot of writing on the wall for those two films. Let's hope they do not disappoint. And there you go. Those are my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2026. I have no doubt that some of these movies are going to be freaking awesome, and I cannot wait to see these features on the big screen, or maybe small screens, when the time comes. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Comment down below and let me know what movies you are really looking forward to this year, because I know there are going to be a lot of films that you're all excited for, some of which I wouldn't be surprised are on this list. Anyways, until the next video comes, if you'd like to be part of this channel, all you have to do is click that subscribe button down below, like this video if you really enjoyed it, and until next time, peace and take care.